Within a couple of centuries, Earth is on the verge of collapse as widespread pollution, overpopulation, and energy crisis become some of Earth's major problems. To solve this, scientists all over the world came up with an experiment using a massive Shepherd particle accelerator. If they can get the accelerator working, it will provide Earth with infinite energy, thereby solving all of the said problems. Months before the experiment, we are introduced to Ava Hamilton, a British engineer with her husband Michael. They are stuck in traffic when the lights suddenly go out. They complain that it is the fifth blackout from that day. While inside the car, Michael asks her wife if she accepted the proposal for her to be on the team to make the particle accelerator. She replies that she rejected it because she can't bear to be away from her husband for too long. Michael urges her, saying that if they make it work, it has the capacity to save everyone. She sighs deeply, contemplating the thought of going. Inside the Cloverfield station, it has been 16 days since the day Ava, among other scientists, conducted tests to make the particle accelerator work. It sends a lot of power and the crew holds their breaths praying for the machine to work. After some time, the particle accelerator becomes unstable and Captain Keel reports that the experiment did not work. Months after the first trial, Ava wakes up in her chamber. She starts her day by connecting to the internet and talking with Michael. Although he misses her terribly, he says that he's okay. He reports that on Earth, wars are happening as there is no more energy and many countries are about to go to war because of it. He is about to say something else when their call got cut off. Ava then uploads a video and watches an old video of her two kids. They were only 8 and 10 when they disappeared from the face of the Earth. She longingly touches the screen while thinking of the good memories. In the dining room, Volkov, the Russian engineer in charge of air inside the ship at optimum levels. He says he does everything and not once they ever have any microbe overgrowth or pressure leaks. For 2 years, since they've been on the ship, every trial they did to make the accelerator work failed. He gets angry at a German physicist named Ernst Schmidt, saying that every day, many Russians are getting hungry and that Germany is already on their way to prepare for war. He mocks him, saying that he is not making any effort to make the particle accelerator work. They get into a small fistfight and Captain Keel stops them both. They then prepare for the 47th trial to make the particle accelerator work. While they work, they listen to a writer from the news who formulates the Cloverfield Paradox, where the more the accelerator is used, the higher the risk of opening a parallel universe that might unleash monsters from other dimensions. Keel asks Monk to turn off the news and they use a spinning gyroscope crucial to navigation of the ship. Before doing anything, they perform a small prayer. They turn the accelerator on, and it produces lots of energy for a few minutes. Hope fills everyone's eyes as they are able to produce a stable output for the first time. However, the particle accelerator suddenly stops as it gets overloaded. All over the ship, different problems occur. Sirens blare as fires from different places. They immediately recover and ventilate the overloaded particle accelerator. Life support is at 74%. Oxygen is leaking and the main power is down. Amidst this, Ava reports that Earth is missing from their view. Even when using the camera's 360-degree view shows them nothing. They fear that having used the particle accelerator might have thrown them halfway across the galaxy. Ava tries to connect with her husband but to no avail. Keel gathers everyone to assign their work. He orders Mundy and Schmidt to take care of the air while Volkov and Ava try to fix their gyro. When Ava came to get it, it mysteriously disappeared. They get interrupted by mysterious shrill cries that seem to come from somewhere. They then see Tam, the Chinese engineer, who says that the cries are coming from inside a wall. To their surprise, it was a woman trapped within the walls, with wires even piercing her body. She mentions Ava's name, which also shocks them as Ava doesn't even know the person. They successfully free her from the wall and take her to the infirmary. She cries from the pain and shock. They observe the unknown woman who is getting treated by Monk. Meanwhile, in the lobby, the toys suddenly spin quickly on their own. Other extraordinary things also happen, as the worms in the glass suddenly go missing. Schmidt and Tam conduct their own investigation as Schmidt says they need to go back home ASAP. Volkov, while looking at the mirror, hears voices. He talks to it, seemingly getting crazy. He hacks into the system and produces a gun. He goes towards Tam and Schmidt, interrogating them if they are both spies to sabotage the whole experiment. But before he can continue, he convulses and spews blood all over the infirmary. Suddenly, he spits out many worms. It seems the worms from the glass tank somehow ended up inside his body. He dies then and there. Ava goes out disgusted by this, and when she looks towards their portrait, she sees a picture of the woman from the walls among the other crew. The woman wakes up and they send Ava to talk with her. Her name is Jensen. She says that she was with the team for 2 years working to make the accelerator work. Everyone except Tam, whom she doesn't recognize. Ava replies that Tam is the ship engineer, but Jensen gets confused and argues that she is the ship engineer. Jensen also asks why Ava doesn't recognize her when they have been friends before. And also how is she on the ship when she was left on Earth. She is on the verge of breaking down when she hugs Ava and warns her not to trust Schmidt. She says that Schmidt sabotaged the ship. So, Keelf confronts him and angrily questions how he could betray them like that. He locks him up in a cell until they find a way home. Meanwhile, on Earth, Michael fears for his wife's safety as the Shepherd can no longer be contacted. He takes his car for a drive but stops when he sees humongous shadows of unknown creatures. Meanwhile, on the ship, Mundy takes care of cracks in the ship and uses putty to quickly seal it up. Suddenly, his hand gets swallowed by the walls. It initially pulls only his hand, then up to his wrist, until it gets up to his shoulder. Monk inspects his arm and he says that he doesn't feel any pain from it. He asks if there's any chance it will grow back, but Monk is just as clueless as he is. The lights flicker on and off, and Schmidt's cell suddenly opens. He hears thumping noises from corridors. He calls the crew and tells them it is important that they immediately get to him. When they meet each other they find the missing arm of Mundy. It moves and makes thumping sounds. They all get freaked out by how logic doesn't apply anymore. Schmitz then says that what is happening to them is a paradox where two particles have interacted with each other from different dimensions. The hand then makes writing movements and they give it a pen. The writings on the wall tell them to cut Volkov open. They look at each other unsure of what to do next. They bring the dead body of Volkov but Monk, a doctor, can't bring himself to do the deed even though Volkov betrayed them. So Tam takes the scalpel from him and from inside, they are aghast to see the navigational gyroscope. They immediately use this on their ship and finally, they are able to locate the Earth. They rejoice as they are even able to receive radio signals from Earth. But from the news, they found out that Cloverfield Station had already been destroyed and many countries were at war because they were unable to resolve the sustainable energy from the experiment. They could not believe that the news shows debris from the Cloverfield Station that fell to Earth, because they are still outside. Therefore, Schmidt concluded that they did not just travel from any Earth, but in a parallel universe. Faced with this new reality, they have to decide if they are going to go to this new Earth, or they will try to find a way to fix the station to go back to their original Earth. After that, Monk looks after their Jensen. She asks for a favor to Monk before they try to go back to their home, they should leave her to her own dimension. Meanwhile, other crew members are busy fixing the ship. Tam goes to the ventilation system. But within minutes, something goes horribly wrong. Water pours from all over the place. It is only a matter of time before she suffocates to death. They try to manually open the doors but, the pressure from outer space forcibly opens and instantly freezes Tam up. Now, with the loss of their ship engineer, it is difficult to get the ship working. But they are not out of options as they have another ship engineer on board. Jensen negotiates that the ship is severely lacking energy. But if they can provide her requirements, then they can make the station run again. In exchange, they must give her vital data to bring back to her own Earth. They agree to her demands and they ready themselves. In Ava's room, as she prepares clothing for Jensen, she comes to know that the other Ava's kids are still alive. In this reality, no fire killed her kids and they are a happy family with her husband. Tears fall down her eyes and she uncontrollably sobs on Jensen's shoulders. She goes to talk with Keel to tell him that she wants to also take the pod and stay in this version of Earth where her family is still alive. He reluctantly agrees. The crew then proceeds to get the required power by Jensen. They shut down things that they don't really need. But in Mundy's room, things suddenly get magnetic and his side of the ship explodes. The part of Mundy's area made the whole station's rotation to be unstable. So the crew gears up to go out of the ship and manually remove the damage. Amidst the spinning rubble, Keel, Monk, and Ava clear the debris and stabilize the ship. But at the cost of Keel's life who had to stay. Because of so many things destroyed from the ship, they only have 43 minutes of oxygen left. As Jensen and Ava prepare the pods to return home, Jensen knocks her out. She takes out the gun and demands the whole ship be brought to her own world. She explains that she needs the ship because it is the only way to save the 8 billion people on her planet. After shooting the Schmidt and Monk, Jensen then chases after Ava. They fight to death, and when Ava gets the chance, she shoots at the window. This sucks Jensen into the cold outer space where she instantly freezes. Ava then goes to the main room and finds Schmidt still alive. Together, they fire the particle accelerator. Amazingly, they get a stable power, not only being able to get home to their own universe, but they also manage to solve the unlimited energy that they have been searching for. The two then boards the escape pods. But on Earth, a monstrous creature roars. The movie ends there. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoy this movie. If you want to see more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.